Experience Canucks hockey. This is the experience, baby. We're back in here. One step forward, two steps back. It's back to 2014 times. Because my gosh, that was like textbook Vancouver Canucks failure right there. You can't make this stuff up. This is the kind of thing that if you were back in 2014 when this team was bad, 2016 or 17 when this team was bad, this was the kind of game you were expecting to see. Either a game where the Vancouver Canucks are completely great and then they absolutely crumble away in the third, or a game where they suck initially and then they look better towards the end but they can't get it done. This game was the former. This game was a Vancouver Canucks victory in periods 1 and 2, but the third period had Auston Matthews and Alex Kerfoot come in here, just totally steal all the glory that exists when a hockey team wins a hockey game away from the Vancouver Canucks, as the Vancouver team ultimately loses their, what was it, like, how many games have they lost in a row? I can't even remember anymore. 4 straight? 5 straight? I don't know. I don't care. They've lost so many games in a row now. Second in a row against Toronto. Third in a row? Yeah, third in a row against Toronto. See, I can't remember this stuff in general. But it's a 3-1 loss here, and the Vancouver Canucks played 40 minutes of hockey, and then they absolutely crumbled away in the third. Experience Canucks hockey, baby. This is what it's like. Is this the kind of game that we're going to be cheering for now? Is this it? A game where the only goal comes off of Elias Pettersson's stick, and it's assisted by Quinn, Hughes, and Brock Boeser? Are these the games that we want now? This is like completely reminiscent of the Tank for Darlene, Jack Hughes, Auston Matthews, Nico Hischier, Nolan Patrick kind of sweepstakes, where we want the team to lose, but we want the young guys who are leading the team in points to get more points. I don't know, man. Is this best case scenario? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if this is best case scenario, where the Canucks lose in regulation. They don't get any points, but Petey, Hughes, and Brock end up getting on the score sheet. Speaking about Hughes, though, oh my goodness, this guy. Oh, you could say all you want about Quinn Hughes and his ability to defend, which is establishing itself to be pretty poor for 2021, but I will say, the guy is up here still getting points, still leading the defenseman point race, which is absolutely incredible. Take a look at the plus-minus. Obviously, plus-minus isn't everything, but man, the guy's one of the biggest minuses out there. So, even though Quinn Hughes has not really been all too great in his own zone, we'll speak a little bit about that when it comes to the Kerfoot goal. He still is over here getting points, and at the very end of the day, you would least like to see Canucks getting points like Pettersson, like Boeser, like Hughes. Like, let's face it, if the only goal of this game for Vancouver was Roussel from Sutter and Beagle, like, nobody would care. Nobody would care. Nobody would see any value in this kind of goal here, because, hey, at the very end of the day, we still are pretty competitive about our young guys and the young stars, so seeing Pettersson, Boeser, Hughes, and these guys actually get points and push themselves higher up on the points race, you know, that's at the very least nice to see. But you know what wasn't nice to see? It was that third period, because the Vancouver Canucks in the first 2 periods absolutely took control and dominated this hockey game. This was Vancouver's to lose. And even though it was only tied 1-1 at the end of 2 periods, I think many people who were watching this game would come out of those 2 periods and say that Vancouver was the better team. The shots on goal after 2 periods, take a look at this. 27-7 for Vancouver. That's amazing. The first period saw the Vancouver Canucks actually play a very dominating game too, but they were actually down by 1 because Morgan Rielly came in. It's very funny how the Canucks can play probably their best period during the entire road trip and still be losing by 1 by the time that first period is over. Now, Pettersson, of course, we noted he got himself on the board, a power play goal assisted by Hughes and Boeser, so that was nice to tie things up, and the Canucks had a whole bunch of pressure throughout this entire second period as well. Some very good shots from guys like Juolevi, the third line, Sutter, Bailey and Gaudette. They actually played really well. They had like a really high Corsi percentage. I think it was like 90% or something for Adam Gaudette, which is absolutely crazy. But ultimately, it's that third period where the Toronto Maple Leafs are kind of like, yeah, okay, we kind of slacked around for the first 40 minutes. Let's come back out to play here and overwhelm this Vancouver Canucks team. That's exactly what they did, because the Leafs came out here and they got a whole bunch of chances right off the bat. So many opportunities for them to score, either thwarted away by Braden Holtby, blocked off in front, or just completely missing the net. There was that Jake Virtanen stick handle in front where he tried to pretty much just dangle his way out in front of the Canucks slot. It didn't work. It almost led to a John Tavares goal, which was very awesome of Jake Virtanen to do. Obviously, you love to see the awareness there off of Jake Virtanen. No wonder the Canucks want to trade this guy. And then you see yourselves what was a face-off loss where Rasmus Sandin gets it to Mitch Marner, to Matthews in front, whose check, Jay Beagle, was not covering him, and he scores a very nice goal, as Auston Matthews is noted to be capable of doing. Auston Matthews now, oh my goodness, 11 goals on the season. If you go over to the league stats, take a look at who's leading the league in goals. Yeah, it's Auston Matthews. He's got a 2-goal lead on Connor McDavid, who didn't score today against the Ottawa Senators. But Draisaitl did. He's at 8. That's still not 11, so Matthews, yeah, he's number 1 in goals. Kerfoot, though, like 10 seconds after, yeah, it's Quinn Hughes in his own zone, dangling it around, trying to do too much with it. He gets bodied off the puck, as he has been the entire season, and it's thrown out in front. It's a second Leafs goal in, like, less than 15 seconds. And yeah, Quinn Hughes. I'll say it again, I know a lot of people will go out there and talk about how Quinn Hughes has been absolutely terrible in his own zone, and I definitely don't disagree, but at the same time, I think that's going to be a really big part in the contract negotiations, right? Like, I don't think that the PD contract and the Hughes contract are going to be comparable anymore. That's kind of how I'm feeling, you know? I don't see how the management can go out there and give Quinn Hughes a big boy contract here because of how inadequate he has played in his own zone. Sure, he's young. He has so much room to improve and become better, and I believe he will be. But in a contract year where he is one of the top point producers for all defensemen, I do think that defensive play is really going to limit the amount of money he is able to get, in the short term at least. That's just my opinion. You can let me know in the comments down below, because Hughes has been bad in his own zone right now, but of course he still has so much room to improve. Just goes to show you how good Chris Tanev was with this team, right? Also Jacob Markstrom, that's something that we have to talk about too. I mean, we've spoken about that a lot. I don't think there's a need to beat a dead horse. Actually, yeah, no, we see more Vancouver Canucks games over and over and over again. They repeat the same mistakes. As I said, reminiscent of 2014, eh? That's kind of all I have to say about this. I don't know what really else there is to talk about with this team. Yeah, they're bad. Yeah, they blew a lead. Yeah. Third period Canucks galore. Talk to me in the comments what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. So did I. Trolls 99. And bye.